What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to another dope episode of the POPcast right here on the YouTube streets. I'm your boy, Moochie for one, baby. Please say the baby. I ain't rolling by myself as per usual. I got my partner in crime. How's it going, Miss Cosmo?
Hey now, what it is. How you doing, Moochie?
Not too bad. I'm feeling
I saw
fresh.
you, beaching it up. Huh? You're on holiday in the middle of the year.
Absolutely. I had to switch it up. It's cold this side, so I had to say young bitch just to feel something.
It's a vacation with your one baby.
That's right. Moochie for one baby, with the one baby. Just a young shot left. But we back now.
Happy birthday, Sipo, by the way.
Thank
Because it
you,
was your
thank you.
birthday. That's why you were there.
Oh, snap. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Because we all know Sipo wouldn't just and share. He just said, okay, it's birthday special.
I wouldn't just do something nice for myself. Oh my girl, come on.
I'm kidding,
Give me a
man. I'm
chance.
kidding. Big ups to you. Happy birthday to you and the missus.
Thank you so much. Our birthday is actually a day apart, which is why
How
she
crazy.
said.
Oh, wow.
How crazy.
So we always dip and go somewhere when it's our birthdays because yay, what else are we going to do? All right, but as per usual, we're not rolling by ourselves. We got another amazing guest with us, as you can see to my right, the amazing Tay Flavor. How you living?
What to do at that?
You're gonna rap so bad on this microphone.
It's like, I know I play piano, but check what I got. Check these bars.
I want to be part of it, guys.
Are you good?
I'm amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Yeah, man.
An absolute pleasure, man. It's an absolute pleasure having you down here with us. We're going to get straight into what's been happening in the last couple of weeks with a little bit of news. We know just recently last week, they had the Basadi
Yes.
Awards,
Yes.
the second annual Basadi Awards, of course, showcasing all the female talent around the country in many, many categories, such as music, which our lovely Miss Cosmo here was nominated at. And, of course, you were at the event as well.
Yes.
How was it?
I did attend the awards. It was the second annual Basadi and Music Awards, which just a night to celebrate women in entertainment, women in
game.
music, which I think is really amazing. And for the second awards, because, sometimes people take a while to kind of, find their footing, get themselves
Get
up
into
there.
it, yeah.
I think the ladies really did a lot, which is really awesome. So shout outs for the recognition for women in music. Some of the winners were also amazing. Unatinkai was the host for the night, so she did an incredible job as well. Pamela Ntanga was doing she did the red carpet hosting, which she was also
nice.
just beautiful. She's amazing. The opening montage was so awesome because it was just throwbacks of like amazing women who've done big things. They had TD from Malaika, who ended it off with obviously singing Destiny.
Oh, wow.
Of
Who
course.
else? They also had she was singing Colors. Oh, I can't believe I forgot her name. Tamara Day.
Oh, man.
Sang Colors. There was some lady there. I can't remember her name, but she was singing Just Us, which is an old school R&B song. It's my mom's favorite song. So I
Yeah.
definitely remember that. And Winnie Kumalo. She was the one who was singing it actually. And then there was just like, it was very awesome to kind of see all those women on stage together, kind of putting that montage and just saying, we come from such a far place with women in music, and now we are at a place where we're being celebrated. So big ups to all the ladies, all the nominees, as well as the winners. I didn't win my category, unfortunately, but big celebration to everybody else who was nominated. Lady Amar won for Best DJ. She had that
Nice.
huge
Saw that,
single, Hamba Chuba, and that's
Yes.
an impeccable song. So I can understand, all of her fans voted for her, and she's well deserving.
Fantastic. Now, in terms of like support, do you think the awards were supported well enough? Being the second annual ones, I would imagine, of course, the first time you kind of prove that your production is really going to run the way that you'd expect a world class or so event to run. But are you seeing enough support coming through for the awards in terms of like sponsorship and pumping that right energy into it?
They did have a lot of sponsors for the award, so I think that that's already like moving in the right direction. I think the lady who's actually hosting the awards knows her things. Trust me, like she's actually got her stuff on lock because she had big sponsors up there. I think Nando's was one of the sponsors. There were Capasso, obviously all of the music rights companies were also kind of involved. There were a lot of politicians were there as well. The Joburg City Mayor was there as well. They also had the princess from Swaziland. The girl who tried to rap
Oh yes,
for
my
like
favorite.
2 seconds. What's her name, Christabel or whatever?
Yes, I
She
remember.
also attended. I think she's
Tarantula.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the love for me.
You remember?
It's the love for me.
I mean, I just appreciate the fact that she came through, man.
Yeah.
Shout outs to her. Also, I think she's a princess of Zululand, either princess or the queen of something, but she was also there in attendance. So you can see the type of rapport that she has to kind of pull in
Yeah.
those types of people to
Yeah.
come to the awards. So big ups to the CEO, because I think she's also trying to keep this as a serious event. It is going to be broadcast on SABC2, I think on the 27th of August, if I'm not mistaken. So you will be able to get to see it as well.
Absolutely, man. And it's good that you see these events. But of course, we always say we want people to come through with like energy just for 1 month because it's Women's Month. We want to see these things exist because
Consistently,
of consistent
Women just
support.
exactly.
And do you feel like the support is there or it's growing?
The support's definitely growing. I mean, we have so many different platforms now that women get to showcase whatever it is that they're doing in their respective careers and fields. I wish they could be a bit more, though. You don't want it to feel like, it's Women's Month. We're getting booked now. It's like super hyped up, and then boom, batung. A week later,
It's quiet.
it's quiet. You're like, how, guys? And then this Women's Day energy, can
Yeah.
we just,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is August, so Women's Month is like the opener to summer. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
for September, you're gonna carry that energy into
and we have to be pushing it. We have to be
Absolutely.
out there, energy on lockdown, because wow, we need those gigs, afterwards.
Absolutely, and I feel like the ladies are putting a lot more effort sometimes in a lot of the sets, especially the DJs. You guys it'd be very entertaining to watch because people would think that the DJing has changed now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, what the
The
ladies.
pressure is on.
Give
The
us
pressure's
more,
on.
Sipho. What are you talking about?
No, I'm saying what the ladies.
Buakamang,
It's talking about
Sipho.
the dancing. It's talking about the performance
No, I get
aspect.
it, but it seems just more like people are having a little bit more fun. The guys are always very serious behind the
Yeah,
decks.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
The ladies seem a little bit like you're having a little bit more fun. You
Yeah.
interact a little bit more with the
Yeah.
crowds. You know what I'm saying? And now it seems like that's where people are trying to jump into it. Because I watch some of the guys and sometimes I'm just like, you go to a house music set
Just
and the guys
stand.
will watch DJ Big Coffee like
Exactly.
this. Arms folded behind until it's finished, and then you're like, guys, you can dance, you can have a good time.
Yeah.
They never seem encouraged, but now it's good to see that these things are happening a little bit more and more. But staying with the ladies, of course, Miss South Africa, a new one was crowned this past weekend as well. Natasha Joubert. How do you pronounce it?
Jube.
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 I've been saying Joubert. You don't even understand.
You grew up in South Africa and you don't know that it's Jube?
Jube. I won't lie. Maybe they forgot. It's been a while since we saw a Jube in South Africa. It's been very easy for me to pronounce. Now,
All the others in the past.
it's been very, very easy. Tunzi.
Right up your alley.
Yeah, right up my alley. It was the names that I recognize. It's been a while since we had like a Van der Vert.
Yeah.
So now we're running it back, man. But
Yeah.
it was dope, man. The event was in Sun City. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see any clips from it or what you think of the new Miss SA.
I didn't get to see it,
Neither did I.
but I did record it, so I'm gonna actually go home and check it
Yeah.
out because there was a lot of uproar happening on social media. There was a lot of kwenzakalani on social media, so I want to know what they were oohing and eyeing about. But I did get to check out her page on Instagram, and I asked the question because I wasn't too sure. Obviously, with a name like Natalie Jube, she could either be white or she
White or
could be
coloured.
colored.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure, but Tate did confirm to me that she is colored. So I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
okay, shout outs.
Yeah.
But we had a colored Miss South Africa, I think 2 Miss South Africans ago, because I think it was the lady who married Zay.
Tanzi Kutsia.
Tansy was before
yeah,
her.
she was before.
Yes, Tansy was before
yes,
her, and then
Oh, and then there was the lady, of course, who stepped in for Tunzi when she became Miss Universe. Lee. It was
Yes,
Lauren
yeah.
Lee.
she was the first princess.
Sasha Lee, sorry.
Yes.
Sasha. She was
Yeah,
first
yeah, yeah.
princess, and when Zosie became Miss Universe, of course, she has to vacate the Miss Africa.
Sure, you know your stuff, eh?
Yeah, no, I actually used to work with her, so I remember. We were like, shout out to you, girl.
I'm actually trying to remember days. You like, Miss Universe. I'm like, eh?
She's the least talk about Miss Africa because she took over from Zosie. So Zosie was at that time
Yeah.
like way
It
too
was
big.
like
you know what I'm saying?
reigning queen, yeah.
So people didn't even realize that the Miss Africa crown had been vacated and that we
Yeah.
actually have a new Miss Africa. They're like, who's Miss Africa? It's Zosie. Don't confuse me, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
We only have one Miss South Africa, one Miss Universe, same person. Don't give us questions. But also Lisa Lowry also.
Yeah.
You know,
Lisa,
so
yeah.
we've had a couple, please, okay?
Of course, I'm just saying it's a bit wild, but it's good to see that what the Julia Rainbow name. Look, man, I'll tell you this about the award shows because I watched the last half of it. You know what I mean? So close to when the account. So let's say the last 45 minutes of the show. Now, my thing about it is that I tune in and it's already top 5. Right?
But that's the best part of the show, to be fair.
Yeah, sure. And it's top because now you're like, okay, now I can pick a winner from
Yeah.
here. And then it's the questions, and then they're cool, they're doing all right. Now, when they picked the top 3, I said, this is South Africa. They said an Indian lady, a black lady, and what at the time I thought was a white lady. But still, a colored lady. So I'm like, hey, this is a representation. South Africa is just doing, and I just knew it. When they picked the Indian girl first, I said, watch, now it's going to be the black girl.
They're going to be balanced. They're going to balance it out.
As hell. So, you know, hey, that's the Rainbow Nation we live in. And that's what people started saying, and something is up here. When they saw that top 3, they said there's too much. It seems too obvious now. Like the easiest decision that you could ever make seems like the one that's being made.
I need to go watch it actually because I never got to see it. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Halfway through, I mean, shout out to my brother Roboto. He performed there, but people were just like, hey, Roboto. Miss S.A. interesting.
Yeah.
It feels like as a performance. I'm like, he's a hype and everything, but you'd expect also at Miss Africa, like, I don't know, these guys will be doing what they want.
Mavuso or someone.
You know what I mean?
Yes. That would have been beautiful, actually, to have Langa there.
And like I said, not taking anything away from my brother Robert. You know what I'm saying?
No,
he's an entertainer.
He's an entertainer and a half.
And he's in his bag. He's a hard worker. And I was just like,
Really
it was a little bit like...
Shout out.
Anyway, they would seem to be dancing and having a good time. So that was all right, eh?
Yeah, but you know, with Robot Boy, I think it's time and place. It's not to say that we don't appreciate him as an artist, but it is again about what makes sense for the event, which is why I'm agreeing about Langa Movuso, because he would have at least brought out that elegance that comes with Miss South Africa, something like that, or maybe even a CC to come and sing. If they wanted something upbeat, she could have come there and sang Hamba Chuba because that's the hot song right now. Something.
Did they show the crowd actually? Like were they like?
You know what? Let me tell you something. What they did from the time that I tuned in, I was like, I don't know who else has been performing, but they seem to be not showing the crowd a lot.
Yeah.
Like they'd pan over them, and it looked full-ish. But I was also like, I mean, it's what we're talking about off camera. Like we don't know the awards are happening. Some people are surprised.
Yeah, I was very surprised. I mean, I didn't see marketing.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I didn't see it anyway.
I also didn't see it, and I think what we're moving into a space where people are relying too much on social media and Instagram
100%.
for marketing. That there's nothing bigger outside of that that's now happening because Miss South Africa is huge. This is a representation of our country.
Yeah.
This is someone we're going to send to Miss World and to Miss Universe. We need to get behind her. So if there's no billboards, if there's no banners, if there's no places of advertising in and around our streets for us to then say, okay, cool, we're going to support the show because we need to support Miss South Africa. How are we supposed to get behind this person if we don't know that this show is happening?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
What's crazy is that we out in that space as well, like where we basically... personalities, and we didn't even see a thing, guys, like not one post to say Miss SA.
Yeah.
Do you know how shocked I was?
Absolutely. Last time I heard about this when people were still entering and the videos were coming out on social media.
I didn't even see that.
For me, it went from there to today. It was like, yeah, what's going on? Isn't the in-between selection process top 20 something? I don't know anything that was going on. So I feel like it's one of those things where it seems like I don't know if the ladies themselves are being counted on to hype it up, because a lot of them, of course, are on social media now and already doing things. So I don't know who's supposed to tell us, because even if they can say, okay, because it plays on SABC 3, let's say it's been running on the SABC channels as a promo, sharp, that's cool. Because people who watch television, they're going to get it there. But I think everywhere else where people exist, they know that there's an audience from TikTok to Instagrams. Yeah. There's an online audience, and it may not be the biggest audience in South Africa, but it's still people that keep things talking online anyway. And when they play online, that's what they're going to be looking at. Because the only place people are going to talk about it in real time is obviously on social media. Yeah, no,
I think it was definitely misplaced some way or another because, wow, babes.
Yeah, but one thing I do know is that they shot a reality show, or been shooting a reality show called, was it The Crown? Or Chasing the Crown or something, which Zozie is the presenter of. It's been covering the entire process leading up to the final. So I don't know where that's going to air, if it's going to be on the SABC channels, one of the streaming platforms, but they've been shooting an entire reality show about it.
That's interesting because, everybody knows reality TV is made by the drama.
Yeah.
So I want to know if they're bringing in somebody like Zozie. I'm questioning it. I'm questioning it only because I'm not saying that she's not capable. I'm worried about it because how much of the reality
is going to
be shown, because putting on somebody like her persona, her brand is, girl next door, she's Miss Universe, she is clean
Well put
cut,
together.
she is respectable.
Yeah.
We don't want to see any black mark on Zozi's name. Okay, so I worry about her being on a show like this, because are they now going to show us what they want us to think is happening, or the reality of the backstabbing of actual beauty pageants? Because any woman knows that if they've ever entered a beauty pageant, there's one way
There's
or
always
another
politics.
where there's some politics, some scathy behavior, some weird
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to see the real stuff, and I don't want to see it coming from Zozi, because I don't want a black mark on Zozi's name, if I have to be honest.
Absolutely. There was some dramas that was happening when people still, that's I'm saying, that's the last time I heard about it, when the ladies were posting their videos entering. Because
Yeah.
then people were picking and choosing their favorites, and people saying, no, not this person, not that person. That's the last drama I remember, but I'm like, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
If you're going to shoot a reality show, that's what people want to see. But if it's going to be like, the queens have arrived.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried we're going to get. Then it's going
It's
to be
gonna be
boring.
all airy fairy,
Yeah.
and it's like, guys, come on, show us the real thing.
Especially because it only makes sense that it should air after the Miss South Africa has been chosen, because then it
Yeah.
would influence before. So now you have nothing to lose, especially when you know there's going to be one.
Yeah.
If I'm in the top 10, I'm trash talking. You know what I mean? Personally, like it's like, I know I'm not going to make it into the top 5 here. This thing is over for me. So that's when I go in, and especially in the diary, you get a chance to talk a little bit of shit, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I doubt if they didn't take that route, then people are going to tell him this thing's boring. Next year, if you want it to be interesting, add a little bit of spice, whatever.
Exactly.
People want some easy toast.
We're going to see Somizi on our TVs for another 10 years.
We'll never escape some guy. Anyway, moving on to another big celebration. This year marks 50 years of hip hop. I know we've spoken about it a couple of times on the show, on and off throughout the year. We expected that there'd be events and little pop-ups that will celebrate the culture. More so in
Yeah.
America, where it started. I don't know how much the entire world is getting involved, in South Africa especially, because pop right now is not the one.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying, it is a celebration anyway of the entire history of it, and not just what's happening in the moment. Have you guys seen anything about it?
I haven't personally seen it. Like, who comes up with it though and says like, this is 50 years celebrating hip hop? No, like genuine. Is it like a specific day where everyone's like, okay, this is the day? Is it a month?
Yes. No. So there's a specific day, because there is a flyer where Cool Herc hosted a birthday party, or not a birthday party, rather. It was like a after school type of celebration thing, party. So there's a flyer that he had written. It was literally like hand put together, and everybody says that was the birth of hip hop, because of the way that he was scratching, and then somebody came and kind of rhymed over a beat, and that was kind of the birth of hip hop at that party.
Yeah.
So that's why everybody will always kind of allude back to the 11th of August 1973, specifically at that party and what transpired at that event. So shout outs to 50 years of hip hop. Shout outs to everybody who's kind of contributed to the culture.
Absolutely.
Hey, but my problem, hip hop, I'm not donkey. Yo. Yeah.
Nah, hip hop is ruthless.
Hip hop people are always complaining about this, that, and the other thing. So there were a bunch of parties that were obviously happening in the States, because it's a big thing in the States. Obviously, it's part of the culture. But so many commentators and podcasts and things like that were complaining about Jay-Z didn't come to the event. That nigga never celebrates hip hop. He never comes through when we need him the most. This, that, and the next thing. And I'm like, why do you guys hate this guy so much? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, also, there's so many other artists to celebrate.
So
You're going to spend
many.
all your energy hating on one person. And that's why I'm saying hip hop are not donkey, because there's always more people complaining than there are people celebrating.
Yeah.
And that for me is frustrating. We need to change our mindset so that we can grow as a culture, as opposed to constantly bringing each other down.
Absolutely. And even locally, I mean, like I said, I can talk all shit about hip hop, which is my favorite genre, and talking about, hey, there's a lack of this, there's what. Don't concentrate on my piano, just get in the studio. And we've huffed and puffed about it, you know what I'm saying, for the longest time.
And what did you get out of it, Sipo?
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely nothing.
outside of many, many side eyes.
And cancellations.
So pretty much nothing has changed. Me, same old shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, even locally, you know what I'm saying? Waguti, it obviously starts from frustration. People want to get behind their favorite genre. They want people to be competing. South African hip hop had its, you know what I'm saying, peak where it really picked up, was the number one genre in the country. Everyone was playing it, enjoying it. And of course, things have changed right now.
I think people still genuinely enjoy it though.
They do. I'm just saying it's not at the forefront. And the music itself online. There's some guys pushing through, and you have your, you know what I'm saying, your Mr. Cash Times trying to do what he can, and other people. He's not the only one. People are releasing. There's definitely music on the streets. It's just not the number one charting on radio. It's not the number one trending. But for the community, there is music. And I say, sometimes it is one of those things. It's a context sport, right? You're looking at other things happen, but you want your genre to keep keep coming up. And like you're saying, hip hop is filled with fuck yous.
Yes.
It's people can be very ungrateful. Today I get behind my artist, tomorrow I'm like, yo, lazy ass, no studio ass, nigga, break ass, taking motherfucker, where the rap's at. And it's always us taking ourselves down. Because if I'm a house music man, I don't matter about what's going on in hip hop. If I'm listening to my piano, I don't care what's going on in the hip hop community. Yeah. It's us attacking each other in the hip hop community constantly. So we need to kind of fix that. And I'm mentioning it because yes, it's 50 years of hip hop. Yes, it's been running for so long. But the reason why we're at the back burner right now, internationally, not even just in South Africa, hip hop's also suffering in the States. Hip hop's also suffering in Europe. Hip hop is suffering in South Africa purely because there's too much of instead of, guys, let's collaborate, let's get into studio, let's fix this, let's work together, let's make happy music, let's stop making drug music and convincing people to scissor up and do other funny things. Just make music that can relate to everybody. Trust me, we will be in a good space. But something good that did happen with regards to celebration of hip hop is Kwesta did his 16th bar concert as well this past week.
I saw that.
And for him, it's also just it's amazing because of the timing of everything. He was born on the 11th of August, which is the day of hip hop. So he turned 35 on hip hop's 50th birthday, and then he did his event of the 16th bar on his 16th year in hip hop, which I think is all just one big metaphor. And shout outs to Kwesta for thinking about it. The support that of everybody who went through on there on Saturday was also just immaculate. I saw it was full.
It was.
Everybody who came through to support him, all the artists who came through to support him, shout outs to everybody there as well. Unfortunately, I couldn't go. I would have loved to, but I also had to go to the Basadi Awards. I was nominated there and I had gigs, but I was there in spirit and supporting and shouting out. And big ups to Kwesta and his team, man. They did a good job.
Shout out.
Shout out Kwesta, man. Absolutely beautiful. And I think that's pretty much what the culture needs, richly, is celebrating moments like that. You know what I'm saying? And people actually being on tour and being... bringing on your old catalog, finding ways to reinvent yourself and re-existing right now. There's guys with lots of catalogs, but you know, not everything has to be fresh and right now. Sometimes you find your show like a Kwesta and you go and think, hey, I've been in here for quite some time. I have many albums out. I have to go perform. I don't have to release a new album just to get people's attention. I've got enough music to celebrate with my guys. And now more and more you do see guys trying to book this venue that, you know what I'm saying, and fill it up in whatever way that they can.
Yeah, K also did a Constitutional Hill.
Absolutely.
Also celebrating his career. So
and it shows for the guys who are taking the chances that the audience is definitely still there and still hungry. So I think now more than ever, instead of complaining, it's time for guys to trust their audiences and actually
just run with it.
And just run with it, man. There's no time for you to worry about who has the number one song wherever. Go out there and do exactly what you need to do. Staying with hip hop, of course. We heard about one of the famous hip hop brands, AMAKIPKIP. In the culture in general, coming into some run-in with the fact that they released some tribute shirts or merch that had Keenan's face, aka RIP to him. And of course it caused a bit of an uproar, it seems, because they did it on their own just to say, you know, shout out. And they've done the same for like DJ City Lights last year when we lost him. And they're like, just continuing with that, you know, and something has happened. So we're just like paying homage to hip hop and a culture icon. And then, of course, now they've gotten into trouble with the family, as you now know. They didn't ask for permission. And, of course, they put out a statement apologizing profusely for not going that route. And I guess for some people, it feels a little bit divided, where it's like, yeah, sure, using people's likeness, but also we kind of do this all the time with everybody else, and
part
no one says
culture,
nothing. And that's the thing about it. Like, we know we do that all the time. We wear
do
Tupac,
it all the time.
Biggie, whatever. Wherever you buy it, you're like, I want to know that Biggie's children are getting paid off this top that I just bought for me and my brother. I buy and I go.
It's tricky, man. It's so tricky, you know. I mean, it's really contrary to what you believe, you know. I don't think it was done out of ill malice or, you know, I don't think there was any ill intention on their end. I think they were just really just trying to show their love and support for an icon who passed away, you know. It's really tricky because then there's the family on the other side as well, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to kind of find a balance in this thing because everybody gets where the family's coming from. He's passed away. Anything that uses his name or his brand or his image needs to kind of go through the family. Completely understood. However, it is also part of the hip hop culture to show love and support or show homage or like we've done with all of our fallen soldiers, whether it's everybody owns an Aaliyah t-shirt, everybody owns a Biggie t-shirt, a Tupac t-shirt. At some point you've owned something, maybe even if it's Rolling Stones or whatever the case may be. It's culture, like they did with the City Lights. We've all worn like even something with like a Pro Kid, Double HP, whatever the case may be. It's just what we do in the culture to put people's faces on, to say, yo, I'm still showing love to this artist even though we've lost them. So it's 50-50 because it's like, 50-50. Where do you draw the line? And maybe they should have asked for permission to put out these t-shirts for them to actually then continue with this line so that they can pay homage to him. Maybe that's what they should have done in the beginning, and I get that. But I also feel like, I don't know if the uproar was worth it, because it's something we do in hip hop. So that's why I'm on the fence about this, you know?
The uproar for me is the part of it, because they definitely saw that. And I feel like this is one of those things that, because again, of AMAKIPKIP and how long they've been in the culture, is that I think like it should have been handled privately. And then for them to come up there handling it privately to saying we've spoken to the family and decided to collaborate on X amount or not continue or whatever, or to say, you know what I mean? The statement could have been different, because now it just, of course it's like, it makes AMAKIPKIP look bad. As if they're just trying to profit and make money off
it's
AKA.
It's just a pity as well, because they happen to be such a big brand. But if we're being, in all honesty, if we're being like serious with each other as well, there's probably so many people doing it, you know. It just so happens that that brand isn't on the platform that it is on.
You're right. You know? Because AMAKIPKIP's got a big name.
They have
I feel like because of the sensitivity around Keenan's passing, it should have been maybe just handled privately. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was a moment for it to be like a public spectacle where it has to be said on social media and we hear and there's a statement that must come out, and AMAKIPKIP is just so incredibly sorry. But I guess now we know exactly how the family feels about these type of things. So anybody moving forward now will know what move to make. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, will they be upset or will they not? How do I do this? I guess now everybody understands what the procedure is with the families. Cool. And other more interesting news, staying with shows and all this 50th hip hop celebration in America. America has decided to send one of their own down to Mzansi to perform. And DaBaby is gonna be performing at FNB Stadium in Mzansi
by himself.
And he's the headliner of this show. And that's the information, really.
Guys, that's a hard venue to fill.
Like even people are also still sitting back and they're like, yo, like it's gonna be tough because Burner's doing FNB Stadium and he's doing it on the 23rd, and it's like, I mean, it's hard, but Burner is capable.
Like he's more likely
to, you know what I mean? Because
he's
Burner. Like he's capable to fill a crowd and to take it to capacity. Just like we all sat back and we're like, Casper's huge, but like, you know what? With the right support, and I think Casper was also able to do it with the support of the other artists. He wasn't on stage by himself. DaBaby's coming alone.
Wait, he doesn't have supporting acts or anything?
Well,
I'm confused.
They haven't released any local lineups, which I'm sure they will at some point, because it's not just the DaBaby show. It's something with DaBaby as a headline.
Oh, wow.
Also, firstly, when was the last time DaBaby headlined a show in the States?
First of all.
In his own home ground, first of all. Secondly, he's been going on a downward spiral with his own music where even Americans are willing to disown him because they just don't understand what is happening with this guy's music. Outside of that, it's also just his branding, because he's been saying a lot of like weird stuff on social media that nobody really understands. And why are you speaking out like this when you should be supporting women in a different direction? So whoever the promoter was who's bringing this guy, good luck.
Yeah.
Honestly, you need all the luck in the world. I can't even begin to explain to you how much luck you need. Opening for DaBaby must have to be like Beyonce or something.
Also, do South Africans really like mess with him like that?
Ain't no chance.
People don't
like
even know
that,
him.
Guys, like, can you like say 5 songs?
Nothing.
On the like from the top of your head.
Nothing. Like, even at his most popular.
Yeah.
It was just, I could pick out one or two tracks or something.
So imagine the whole concert. And how long is this concert even going to be for? How?
So say I take it you're not going. I take it you're not going to support DaBaby.
I mean, you know, if I get a few free tickets here and there, I might just consider, but
not enough.
Free tickets. Guys, I don't think it's gonna be super epic.
Even the free tickets, I might just give them away too.
That venue is so big. It's so big.
He can't be the main headliner. If we're looking through, let's say that show that's happening, Hello Neighbor.
Hey Neighbor's happening in December.
Yeah. If it was that and there's all these other acts and big eyes and they say in there they squeezed
Then
in DaBaby in the back room. They say, don't worry about this one, it's going to just midday performance, don't worry about it too much. It would have been fine because look, Kendrick is coming later.
It's not there for too long. It's not
festival
overstaying.
vibes, sharp.
Festival, Hey Neighbor, Rocking the Daisy is something. We would have understood because then it's
that's
like,
a
okay,
festival.
there's other people I can look forward to. Okay, maybe I'll check out DaBaby for 10 minutes and then I'll go and see somebody else. I'm not driving to Soweto to go through all of the drama that happens at FNB Stadium because best believe we all know what happened as global citizen. We don't want the same problems. Now to do that and to put myself through that for DaBaby, no. I'm willing to do that for Burner. I ain't gonna lie. I will definitely put myself through that to go to FNB Stadium for Burner because he's Burner boy.
Yeah.
I personally feel like DaBaby, even at a club, will be like, who's there tonight? I could miss it.
Nah.
I could miss it at a club.
For me, it's like 3 songs max, and then it's like, okay,
exactly.
and then
He's
like,
not.
what next?
I don't know. Promoters, I really feel like you guys need to do a little bit more research. You need to do a little bit more marketing. You also need to consider speaking to people in the culture and decide whether this is a strong investment for you to do.
It seems personal.
Maybe it was also requested because maybe he's cheaper now than he was before.
I mean, he must be, and I'm sure he took that booking quick, fast, and hard. It's like even if they cancel
But even
this
if
thing,
that's the case, you still need to actually make your money back. Like, guys, FNB Stadium, come on now.
Yeah. It's gonna, and the stadium alone is expensive.
Yeah.
Just to
I was like, I don't know who else is coming here. What they think DaBaby is the first thing they should tell us. But that's a bad move, you know what I'm saying? Maybe this concert is going to surprise us and be like, there's 100 artists.
I won't be surprised when they announce that this thing is cancelled because
I also wouldn't be surprised.
It's going to get
But
very
he posted it. Like
He posted?
he posted because they probably gave him a deposit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, he posted.
If not 100%, I would believe that okay, are you coming? Sharp, 100%, let's pay you
But
up
you know,
front.
the tricky thing about now having international artists is that they're very serious about their contract clauses.
Yeah.
And their clause will say, yes, you've paid me the money and I've arrived and I'm willing to perform. But if it's empty at that venue, I'm not going on stage.
Yeah.
And as part of my contract to say, these are my terms and conditions. And if the place is not full to capacity, not even capacity, it maybe even has to be 50%. If there's nobody there, I'm not jumping on stage. And I'm so worried, my brother, but I don't know who's going to be there.
That's a risk that the promoter has to take.
And it's a very strange risk. So I'm very interested to find out more about what's going on. Because I feel like it's DaBaby's show. He must be throwing himself a show.
Let's wait, guys.
And he's trying to make
Let's
it look...
wait. Let's see. Maybe other artists will be revealed. Who knows?
And if they are that, they should have started with them. So that we can believe in this event.
So that we can be like, oh no, actually I want to see the other people.
Imagine if I'm throwing a party, right, and I tell you all the hot people that are going to be there. One of them is your enemy, and I know. And Miss Cosmo is well. I'm like, yeah, don't worry, they'll be there. Dizzy will be there, Sipo will be there, DJ Mama will be there, and then I tell you Miss Cosmo will be there. Now you're already excited.
Yes,
They're like, god damn it, Miss Cosmo will be there. But you know what? I really want to go see Sipo.
Exactly.
I don't start and say who'll be there. Miss Cosmo, you're like, shut up immediately. Why is this the first name you're telling me?
Struggles already.
You're not selling me this party, my brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, that's it for today. This week's news. We're gonna jump into some new music that's been out. Uncle Waffles dropped an EP called Solace, and on it is a lead single called Echoes. Major Steez and Kanyisa dropped Ngaphakate, and of course Blackie and Nanette and Blackie dropped Talk to Me. How are you guys feeling about the tracks? We'll start with you, Tay.
Echoes is different. She took a very different route from the whole piano sound that we used to.
Yeah.
It gave me like, I don't know if you guys know Claudio Sabrino.
Yeah.
Like, it gave me like Claudia Sabrina vibes.
Yeah.
It's very like airy fairy, you know. Yeah, it's a lot of vocals on there.
Do you like it?
I do like it. It's just not a track that you'd bang in the club.
In the club, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a track you'd listen to during your spare time. Maybe you're chilling in the car, you're driving to work, you know, you're listening to it at home, but it's not something that you can play in your sets.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody made me understand something because I was also very dismissive of the song initially when I first heard it, because I know Uncle Waffles to be party dancing DJ. We're going to be taking it to the top. So in my mind, when I saw the song, I was like, we're going to take it to the top.
Yeah.
And then when I listened to it, I was just like,
what happened?
Then somebody explained it to me, and only then did I then open my mind up to what she was actually trying to put together. I didn't realize, and maybe that's my fault because I wasn't paying attention, but Solace is like the B-side of her album Asylum.
Yes.
Because in Asylum, that's where all the
Raga,
lock drums
raga,
are
raga.
happening, all the
Yes.
loudness, all the vibe, all the energy is happening. And Solace is more the other side of her to say, I am a soft person, I am a softer type of artist. I do have a different side to me. This is also something that I want to show, that as much as I can be crazy on stage, I can also be like a soft-spoken type of, emotional artist. And that's what she was trying to do with Solace. And only then did I then say, okay, let me listen to it with a different ear. And that's when I started warming up to Echoes and I understood, the type of energy and the vibes that she was trying to give us. So I think it's dope to also show that because, sometimes as artists, we can literally be branded as that. Just like I originally branded her as the party DJ.
Yeah.
And then now she can show a different
She's
side to her,
breaking
which I think
through.
is awesome.
Yeah, I think she has the luxury of definitely experimenting now more than
Yeah.
ever. You know what I'm saying? I think she's definitely made a name for herself as the party DJ that you're saying. So maybe, how many tracks is this? Like 6 or 7 on the
7
EP?
songs. Both albums have, both EPs have 7 songs.
Yeah.
So I think I could understand the risk, not risk, but the experimentation that's going to go into trying to show us all her sides. You know what I'm saying? Because definitely once you get put in that box, after a while it can get very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because then you feel like I can never do
Then
anything.
you can't break
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah, so you want to show a little versatility and show people that you can jump onto other type of genres, especially because it's your EP now. You can say, oh, don't worry, those tracks that you want, a little bit more hype, the piano jams that you guys want to rock in the club, they're there as well. But also here's a little something different in it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's cool for her to experiment more and more. She is young, she's been in here not for so long. So we're gonna see, I think, her always trying to try some new things.
Yeah.
And some things maybe will
Breaking
vibe,
barriers.
and some things will be something else. Might be flops. We don't know. Only way that they're gonna know is by saying, let's put out this music, let's try something that I love, and let's see if my audience also vibes with it. So it definitely is different, a little bit more slower. But I think I want to listen to it in context of the entire project.
But what did you
properly.
think about the
You know what I'm
actual
saying?
track?
The actual track I thought was okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was a
You?
blockbuster track. Like I said, it's gonna have its own people, and maybe they're not even people. It might be a new audience that she's gonna invite into the room.
Yeah.
Like, oh snap! I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it as a single. Were they just putting it out?
There's a music video.
Oh, they go. Oh, okay, there we
There's
go.
a music video.
It's a
where-
visualizer, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, visualizer, it's
Yeah.
the same shit to me. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like the song is playing, you are there. It's a music video. Whether it's a visualizer, music video,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But there is a visual where you see her wearing like a white dress and she's walking through like a field and it's very like airy fairy with flowers and she's like looking like an angel and she's running to a boy and there's just like all of this like
It's calm.
love and like, oh my gosh, where's Cupid now, type of energy.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it's showing a lot more of a softer side to her. So that's what I think they're trying to do. The song itself, I actually do like it now that I listen to it with a different ear. Is it mind-blowing? No, I don't think so. But I appreciated what she was trying to show us, and I think that's what I'm enjoying about the song.
Yeah. All right then. Let's move on to Major Steez. What do you think of Ngaphakathi with the Khanyisa?
Ngaphakathi is a dope song. I like how Major Steez also experiments with their music. One moment they can be like hard hip hop. Next moment they could be, trapping it out. Then they could also then be doing a piano thing. And then they also then now doing like the Afro popish type of sound here with this one with Ngaphakathi. I dig how they are versatile in the things that they want to do. They're very intentional about their music, and I appreciate the fact that they're always working on different things.
Yeah.
These guys release music almost like every month, 2 months, whatever, which is what we want from hip hop.
Yeah.
Constantly stay in the studio, give us the singles, push it out, And working with Khanyisa, she's got an awesome voice as well.
Yeah.
And for them to realize that she can bring that sensitivity to the song was awesome.
I also really thoroughly enjoyed the song.
Yeah, no, it's dope. Just building on what you're saying as well. I think they're also young and experimental, and that's always a dope thing. When each of those tracks, the singles they've been putting out, have gripped a different kind of audience and have excited different types of people at any given time. So I think they're still playing around with it, and they have that luxury as well because the body of work really has not come out. So people may not know where to completely place them. We know that they're hip hop,
What
but
to
they dabble.
expect, yeah.
So I think they're having fun with it, and that's always good. And another thing that I appreciate the output. They're not lazy, so they're always trying to stay
Shout
relevant,
out,
try to
shout
put
out.
music and try to see what people get stuck into. So shout out to them for that. I thought the track was nice as well.
Yeah, it really was.
And our final track of this week, we have Nanette and Blackie linking up for a track called Talk to Me. Nice slow down vibe there.
I love the song.
Yeah.
Nanette's voice, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Her voice just does it for me. I mean, I really loved her on Momo's album.
Yeah.
She obviously gave off the whole piano vibe, but on this track, she's just so soft and sweet, and I can't explain it. But I mean, come on, guys. Blackie, we all know Blackie is just like great at everything that he does. So I'm really feeling this track. I just love everything about it.
I dig the song, man. I like the collab that they put together. I like how they both sound on it. They both sound very fresh. They sound very honest. It gave me feels of Nasty C and Rolene.
Yes.
It gave me
When they
SMA
just
vibes.
started,
Yes,
yeah.
it gave me that whole collab thing. And if they were to continue making music, that's the type of collab duo that they would kind of represent. The newness and the freshness of what Nasty and Rolene had given us in the past. I dig the song. Talk to Me. I think they need to collaborate a little bit more. Maybe they could even do like a duo EP. Maybe say do like 3, 4, 5 songs. I think it would be really dope to kind of see how they put that together. But this is awesome, and they sound so good together.
So good.
Absolutely. I mean, I completely agree with you guys. That track sounds amazing. You guys should go bump it, and all the other tracks. But it's very smooth. They both sound amazing on the track. They complement each other so well.
Yeah.
Now that you've said that, now it would be great to see them on a young EP. Collaborate on a few more tracks. I think that would be very, very interesting. Blackie is in his bag. He's comfortable. You can hear it. He's in his own lane, and nobody's doing it like that in that lane. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like he's hip hop, he's R&B, he's whatever the hell that he wants at any given time. But he's in his own lane, and he's very, very comfortable. And he and Nanette here are just like a match made in heaven. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Shout outs to the music. Shout outs to the artists. And a big shout outs to Tay Flavor.
Thank
for
you,
joining
Mara.
us today on POPcast.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. It was so good to have you. So good to hear from you, especially also we're celebrating Women's Month. What is it that we can look forward to from you? Are you working on anything, or is there anything that you kind of, want to share with the people before we let you go?
I mean, it's definitely in my plan to start working on music. So I'd love to start working on that ASAP.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are there any specific artists that you would love as like your dream collabs that maybe we could, just throw it out there, throw it out to the universe. We'll see what happens.
I mean, there's a few. I love Calvin Momo's sound.
Yeah.
That whole private piano. Let me think of vocalist Shasha.
Yes.
She's like a classic, who else? Mass Music. There's quite a few
Mass
people.
is so talented.
Mass is so talented.
Yeah.
Like I've been saying this, he's like such a great producer.
He is, yep.
He really is. Dali, obviously. Dali's voice, you can't fault it, guys. He's like, one of the biggest voices in piano. So there's quite a few names.
Okay, well, hopefully it'll all come together for you,
Yes,
and
sir.
you'll get that album together, the EP together, and we can hear just more music coming through and hear what Tay's flavor is.
You understand?
Forever hip hop, okay?
Absolutely. And on the socials, where can people follow you?
So you can find me on Instagram at Tay Flavor, as in OUR, Tay Flavor. And you can find me on Twitter, Tay Flavor _. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thanks for
and
having
thank you
me.
for all of you at home for watching wherever that you are. Don't forget to share, comment, and of course subscribe to the POPcast channel. Between myself and Miss Cosmo
Cosmo.
and Tay. See you guys in the next one. We easy.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Danko.